Hey guys, so in this week's Crypto Weekly for the week of 8th to the 12th of September, we'll be taking a look at the three major cryptocurrencies. So as per usual, it'll be Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and we'll be taking a look at one of the standout performers for this week. So let's begin with Bitcoin. So if we take a look at the price chart over here, Bitcoin has finally broken above its 50-day moving average after an extended period of time trading below that moving averages. So if we take a look at the past few weeks, we see that over here, actually Bitcoin broke below the 50-day moving average, right? So this was covered in my previous Crypto Weekly videos. So I mentioned that this was a cause of concern. So it's not so much the breaking below of the 50-day moving average that is of concern, but it's the duration and the time that it spent below the 50-day moving average that was a cause of concern for me. But I also did raise it up on my Twitter that in recent weeks, Bitcoin is actually setting up in a very constructive manner. So what do I mean by a constructive manner? So over here, we had that move up from the bottom, right? Or at the local bottom over here. And then prices managed to held above the 10-day moving average. So that's one of the first sign that tells me the short-term trend Bitcoin has been experiencing a downtrend, right? So this was the first sign that I took note that, hey, we could see a potential reversal over here because over here we see that actually Bitcoin did not manage to trade above the 10-day moving average, and over here it managed to hold above the 10-day moving average even though it encountered resistance above it, right? So the 21-day moving average, the green line, served as resistance to Bitcoin, but it managed to still hold up above the 10-day moving average very well. So that was the first sign. Then the second sign was the breaking above the 21-day moving average. So that was the next resistance that I was taking a look at, because we can see that actually prices encountered resistance at the 21-day moving average for a couple of sessions, right? So we had the rejection over here, another rejection here, another rejection here, another rejection, and another rejection here. So on this day, on Wednesday, so just 2 days ago, prices actually managed to break above the 21-day moving average. So that's definitely a good sign and a added confluence of factors that tells us that, hey, the change in trend for Bitcoin is happening right now. So this was the day. Yesterday, I expected Bitcoin to encounter some resistance at the 50-day moving average, but at the end of the session, prices managed to trade above the 50-day moving average and close above the 50-day moving average. So as of this filming of this video, Bitcoin is facing some upper weight over here. So it indicates to us that there are some sellers selling Bitcoin at this price. Of course, this is just the start of the day's trading session, so anything can happen. But as of now, we know that there could be potential selling over here. So if the potential sellers come in, I'm not surprised to see Bitcoin breaking below the 50-day moving average. So that's for Bitcoin. Now let's take a look at Ethereum. So same thing for Ethereum. Ethereum actually traded sideways and in a very compressed manner for a couple of weeks, right? So over here we can see Ethereum actually traded sideways and in very low volatility in the past couple of weeks, and then it actually encountered resistance at this level, right? So it's the 21-day moving average has been providing resistance to Ethereum, and then on this day, the same on Wednesday, prices actually managed to break above the 21-day moving average. So that's a good sign because prices have actually encountered resistance at this moving average for quite a number of times. And then on Wednesday, it finally broke above. And then once it broke above, we saw that it continued its momentum and traded above the 21-day moving average. So right now, Ethereum is actually trading just below its all-time highs, right? So the all-time highs is at this level around 4.9K. So I expect Ethereum to trade sideways or move in a sideways movement for maybe 1 or 2 more weeks, right? Wait for the 50-day moving average to catch up and maybe even undercut a bit of the 50-day moving average. But we want to see that undercut is a temporary one before it reverses back above the 50-day moving average. So if it can consolidate for another 1 to 2 weeks and break out, it will be ideal for Ethereum. Now let's take a look at Solana. So Solana has also continued to be the leading altcoin or the leading majors out of the 3 of them, right? So the reason why we can see, right, it has been holding up very well above the short-term moving averages, so the 10 and 21-day moving average. So we saw for Bitcoin and Ethereum in the past 1 to 2 weeks, both cryptocurrencies have actually traded below their and encountered resistance at the 10 or 21-day moving average. But for Solana, it's a different case. It has managed to find support at these short-term moving averages and have traded above the short-term moving averages even in the past 2 to 3 weeks. So right now it has experienced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's almost a 6 consecutive up days for Solana. So it is short-term extended, so it's not surprising to see that Solana might maybe pause or decline a bit or pull back a bit from here. As long as it holds above the 10 and 21 day moving averages, I think that is just a part and parcel of every uptrend movement, right? So every uptrend movement, prices do not go up in a straight line. So they do go up in like wave-like motion. So there will be the up wave, the down wave, followed by another up wave and down wave. So this pattern continues in a nice uptrend. So we can see this happening over here, right? So we had the up wave, then the down wave, the up wave, down wave, up, down, up, down, up, down. So right now we are on the up wave, so it's not surprising to see prices declining or pulling back from here. So the coin or the token that we are going to take a look for this week is Hype. So Hype over here experienced a breakout on this day over here. So at the start of the week on Monday on the 8th of September. So I actually also made a video about Hype earlier this week to talk about the breakout and also my position in Hype. So I bought Hype over here when prices broke out at this 47, 48 level, right? And then right now prices have hold up the breakout very well. So since I bought at the breakout level, prices are up almost 18%. So this breakout, we can say that I was anticipating this breakout for a while now. So reason being is because actually you see Hype has been trading sideways for a couple of weeks and almost 1 to 2 months. So at the 13th of July, that was, let's say, the start of the consolidation. And on the breakout was on the 8th of September. So it's almost 2 months of sideways movement. And then prices were tightening up over here at the right side of the consolidation. So at this point, I set an alert for prices. When prices break above this resistance level, I entered my position over here. And right now, the breakout is holding well. So you can see also that Hype is displaying very strong relative strength by the RS line, right? So the RS line compares Hype's price action against Bitcoin. So you can see that actually Hype on the breakout day, the relative strength line was at its all-time high, right? So the blue dot over here indicates all-time high. So since the breakout over here, it has been experiencing all-time highs for the RS line, and then we had a slight decline today. But you can see that even in this consolidation over here, the RS line is close to its all-time high. So that's also a good thing. So this shows us that even against the broader market, so in this case, we are comparing against Bitcoin, even though Hype is trading sideways, is holding up in terms of its RS line and its relative strength against Bitcoin. So that's my analysis for this week's Crypto Weekly. I'll see you in the next one.